I'm unbeatable, I'm unbeatable, I'm unbeatable.
I am unbeatable. Couple minutes on the score. Every time they wanna clash, the winners kicking through the door. I am unbeatable. Chances running out of stock, and we're running out the clock. I fail once, never stop. I am unbeatable. I am unbeatable. I am unbeatable, yeah. I am unbeatable. I am unbeatable, yeah. I am unbeatable. I am unbeatable, yeah.
It's the final game of round 26 in the British Basketball League. Just 2 more rounds before the playoffs start. Tonight is an intriguing encounter between a team out of playoff contention and trying to avoid the wooden spoon against a team hell-bent on securing a higher seeding position. The Manchester Giants will be looking to avoid the ignominy of finishing last, whereas a top 4 placing and therefore the chance of home advantage in the playoffs for the Sheffield Sharks is definitely still a possibility. Dan Routledge and Leicester's head coach Rob Paternostro have this one for you.
Yes, thank you very much to hear. Welcome to Manchester. Battle of the Roses for you tonight as the Manchester Giants take on the Sheffield Sharks. It's been a long time since Manchester have won a game, Rob. They'll be desperate to get one on the board.
Yeah, especially against a team that just beat them, and now they're at home, and they have somebody back. Legend Roberton back for them, which could help them up front today.
Well, let's have a look at the starting fives, and as Rob mentioned, Legend Roberton is back, but he will come off the bench. Jamel Anderson, having rolled his ankle, is still unavailable for the Manchester Giants. So a little undermanned Manchester. At the other end of the floor, well, the Sharks have really been rolling, winning 4 of their last 5 games. They seem to have a rotation that is really working for Atiba Lions right now. Well, before we get started, wanting to look at a couple of players. One of them, one of your former players, Rob.
Well, William Lee. Loved coaching William Lee. Smart player, athletic, 13 points per game, 8 rebounds, 2 offensive. He was the Alabama High School Player of the Year in 2014. Ton of talent, and they're going to need him up front today if they want to get the result.
At the other end of the floor, there's a ton of talent up and down the roster, but Ramsey really helps make them tick.
Well, yeah, with stats is solid. Obviously, 11 points per game, 4 rebounds, 5 assists, 14 points for him in 3 of the last 4. But his energy, I was really impressed when we played up there recently. His energy on both ends of the floor, a leader with the way he plays.
Well, Coach Atiba Lions has been tinkering with his lineup all season, but now he seems to have his team rolling just in time for the playoffs. Can they keep it going, or will Manchester get the win they need to lift themselves away from bottom spot? Tip-off is almost upon us. We'll be right back after this break. Well, twice in a week, these Sharks fans have made the trip across the Pennines. They're hoping to go back with a second victory here today. Can Manchester upset the party and inflict a defeat on their rivals from Yorkshire? We're about set to get underway. The ball is up and it's batted all the way back. Lee is able to chase down the loose ball. There's Boursier. Back to Lewis. Lee looking inside to Lawton. Shot clock getting low. Lawton forced away from the basket. Can't convert. Green with the rebound.
Good defense from Koch there. Good power not to allow him to get close to the basket. Looks like Manchester in a 2-3 zone to start the game.
Inside to Green. It's sort of thrown Sheffield off a little bit here, hasn't it? The ball is zipping around, but they can't find a shot. Needs to go up. Green gets it away in time, hits the iron. Manchester able to come away with it with Stampley.
Very rare that a team starts in a 2-3 zone.
Well, it certainly threw Sheffield out of sync. Lawton. Lee's going to fire up the three. That's off the mark. Here's Retino. He's going to let it fly. Cook with the rebound. Back out to Eitel Rock. His three goes in, and we have our first points on the board.
Well, loads of time for Eitel Rock there. Not a lot of urgency to get out to him on the three-point line. He's shown himself to be a pretty good shooter when he has that kind of time. But Bennett Cook with the offensive rebound got that goal.
Steve Ferris, Marion Dodds, and Nick Nassi, the three officials for this game. Here's Lewis. Lewis finding a way to the basket. No help defense, and he gets an easy two.
Well, he's certainly slick with the dribble, and that time no one came over, and he got to the basket for two. Remember, Manchester played Friday down in Plymouth. Sheffield first game of the weekend.
Eitel Rock. Well, they're not too quick out to the three-point line, Manchester, are they? Here's Green. Eitel Rock with a lot of time, resets, moves it on to Ramsey, gets it away just in time, but it doesn't go.
Unselfish from Eitel Rock there. He had just hit one, so, why not throw it up? But he got a better look for Ramsey, just couldn't make it.
Lewis feeds it back to Lawton, trying to muscle his way past Cook, and he's able to lay it in.
Well, that time Lawton used the dribble, the power dribble, to get him towards the basket. And good play from Lewis, getting all the way in the paint to set him up.
Green shoveling it back. Eitel Rock to the rim, and he'll get a chance for three the old-fashioned way.
Well, that's a set that we've seen Sheffield run against the zone this year, where they try to get Green free. He got free there, but Eitel Rock didn't stand still, cut to the basket, and finished for two. Lewis got to do a better job following that cut on the way in. I think Sheffield, you talk about them 4 out of the last 5 playing really good basketball. This is their last road game of the season, and they've been done so well at home. And Eitel Rock has been a guy, when he's been put into the starting lineup, it seems to have clicked. Obviously he's played well, but it seems to have really done a good job for the rest of the personnel to settle in and find their roles.
It was a tinker job for nice pass. Ooh. Lawton went for the big stuff. Unable to convert, and here's Eitel Rock off the mark.
That's unfortunate from Lawton there. Good drive by Boursier. Got to finish that. Got to find a way to put that in the basket.
Knocked away from Mason Boursier. Oh, he's caught a backcourt. Looked like Eitel Rock had poked that away.
Well, you saw the reaction from Eitel Rock right away. And here's the pass, and you got to finish this one. But decent job there from Cook to go get the ball and protect the rim. But the play before, I think Boursier, he didn't argue. It looked like he just might have lost that one.
Yeah, there was certainly no protestation, so must have just dropped out of his hands. Here's Retino. Shot clock again getting low. Batted away, and Stampley able to come up with it.
Sheffield are used to, running that man-to-man offense where they go side to side, side to side. A little different with the zone. Well, it'll take him some time maybe to adjust to that.
Boursier lets fly for 3 off the mark. Oh, he drops nicely for Stampley. He leaves it short. Lawton able to come up with the ball twice, and eventually he's fouled. He'll go to the line for 2.
Well, you see the coaching staff on the sideline of Manchester pumping their fists, trying to get some energy into them, and they've started pretty well up front. Lawton doing a pretty good job all over the glass, attacking here, rips it away. Stampley maybe missed it, but Lawton doesn't give up. Bats it there, and it goes down and gets it from the ground. Good extra activity from Lawton that brought the bench to their feet.
Yeah, assistant coach Paul Cantwell was right up on that one. He was. Lawton falls short from the free throw line. You wouldn't describe free throws as his primary skill set. But he goes 1 for 2. As Cook got a cut on him, the referee's just gone to check Bennett Cook. Isn't bleeding anywhere, and I think he might well be because he's had to come out of the game.
And that was spotted by Brian Simeone over there. Saw him tell the referee. So eagle eyes over there to see that.
There it is on this.
See that cut?
Elbow. He'll need to get that bleeding stopped.
Well, this looks like the kind of zone defense going to allow you to get shots here. You know, with Sheffield, you wonder how quick you go. You know, you pass up opportunities, and again, Routinho in that paint found Delpech, but he could have probably shot that himself. So a lot of openings. When do you shoot it? When do you not? And it'll take a little while maybe to get that rhythm in that zone offense.
Lee unable to hang on to that pass, just through his hands.
Very rare turnover for William Lee. Under a turnover a game from him. Usually a safe pair of hands.
Well, the one thing you would say in his zone is you usually get a lot of three-point looks as well, but Sheffield are not really a big volume three-point shooting team. Last in the league in attempts, last in the league in makes. Here's Lewis into the key. He certainly is a volume shooter.
Yeah, and he does a good job of getting into that paint and finding different ways to finish at the basket. That time, one-handed floater.
Green shovels it onto Delpech, who lays it in.
Pass from Green. That's a great place to get it, that high post. It's going to cause problems, and Delpech was ready underneath the hoop to catch that for 2. 4th assist already for Sheffield.
Long 2 from Lewis. That's the problem, though. The point guard's the only one who touches. Oh, it's going to be a charge, is it? The referees are going to have a little word here as to whether he'd got there in time. Let's have another look. It is an offensive foul. Lewis just got there in time. It's also that one of, does he have time, space to turn and catch the ball?
Good job from Lewis, though, to give up his body. You know you're going to take that hit there. Always a tough call for the referee.
Well, adjudged to be in Manchester's backcourt, so they'll get a full shot clock. Boursier into the key, kicks it out. Stampley for 3. Green with the rebound. Lee harassing Green.
That could be a problem if you're in the zone because everybody's not really matched up below.
That leaves it to Delpech, who gets the easy jam.
You know, you're playing man-to-man, maybe you could recover out of that, but William Lee's expected to be in the back of that zone. Not there, easy 2.
Lewis knocked away by Ramsey and out of bounds. It's a 5-point Sheffield lead here, 4:22 on the clock. A timeout has been called. We'll take a break as well. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Manchester. You were talking to us about Lee's defense here, Rob.
Way up there. You got to be back in the zone. Now you see there's only 2 guys back, and it's always hard to get back into the zone after a miss. A lot of times people play man, teams play man after a miss, but especially when your shot blocker back there is going to be out at half court. That opens up the basket, and Sheffield took advantage of that.
Boursier gets it back from Lawton. Finds the big man underneath, tries to reverse lane and can't make it.
Made that a lot harder than he should have. Good play from Boursier. That's twice he's made the right read, good pass, and his big guys haven't finished.
Bertino all around the three-point line to Pipkins. Delpesh now. Slightly contested shot, batted out to Pipkins. Ooh, and that was right between 2 Sheffield players and out of bounds.
Good ball movement that time against the zone. They took it right around the horn. Weren't able to score. We're starting to get more and more comfortable with their ball movement against them.
Evan Walsh into the game, maybe a minute or 2 earlier than we normally see him, but he obviously gives them a lot of spark off the bench. Another one of your former players, Rob.
Sure. High octane player, great in transition. They need some buckets now. They've started 3 for 11 to start the game.
Here's Roberton, who's recovered from his injury, and first touch of the ball is good for 2.
Good pass from William Lee. You always like a big guy that can make that high-low pass. Look at Green went down there. He seems to be okay. But Roberton with good deep position. Can't deal with him when he gets that low. A good pass from Lee. Here comes that play again, looking for Green.
Can't find him this time. Now he's up at the high post. Pipkins has it. Pipkins from the free throw line. He's short. Rebound Lee.
This could be frustrating a little for Sheffield. They just have to stay with it. They're going to get the shots.
Lewis, tough shot, knocks it down.
There's no such thing as a tough shot with Nicholas Lewis. That time, nice footwork to fade away and hit the 2. Same play.
Green trying to get the long way around Roberton and able to lay it in.
Well, Roberton wasn't there last game, so they did a really good job of scoring in the paint. That time, Green had to go around the big Roberton for the finish, and Green has showed us, his ability to finish in many different ways.
Lewis, Roberton rolling, but Green coming with the help to steal it away. Green shovels it on and laid in by Rotino.
Nice finish from Rotino. Lee could block that shot, but he put it high enough on the glass in order to finish.
Walsh gets his man up in the air. Back on, Roberton with the rebound. Nice footwork, but can't finish. Green in transition goes right past Lewis. A big slap down by Stampley, and Green will go to the line for a bonus.
Poor transition defense there, and that usually comes after that missed layup. And here you see Lewis just Olay defense, Stampley with the reach, nobody back protecting for Manchester, and Green takes advantage of that. Looks like it's been a tough start for him physically, though.
He's certainly catching his breath after that foul. Manchester trailing by 7 here, 8 minutes into the contest, and a timeout called by the Giants. And Tiva Lyons and his team just trying to figure out the best way to break this zone down here in this first quarter. As you say, you get lots of different looks at it. You've got to find out which one's the best one.
Well, they're 8 for 15 so far, which is pretty solid. 1 for 6 from 3. They haven't hit beyond the arc, but now they're getting consistently decent shots, good shots, but it's the transition here. They're going to have to get back and do a better job of stopping them in transition. And you look at it so far for Sheffield, 14 points in the paint. So even though, and that was a big problem last time, it was 48-16 in the paint last time for Sheffield. And here you see using the left hand to go around Roberton. And maybe that had some motivation there. It's a good play from Green there too. Fundamentally sound defensively, being there on the roll, and then with the pass up the floor and the nice finish from Rotino. But maybe when they looked at it, you know, after last game, they're saying, hey, we got to close down this paint. And that was the motivation to go zone because, like I said, those numbers, 48 to 16 in the paint, you know, that's not going to get the job done.
Well, the team Lions would have come here. It's never easy when you just beat a team last week in their own building because you just think the players might feel, oh, it's a bit comfortable. It was a relatively comfortable win. And you've got to try and make sure that they start right because what you know, and Green is definitely struggling as he hobbles out of the game. You want to make sure that your team has the right mentality at the beginning.
And I think when you look at this Sheffield team, they do look like that type of team, though. You know, they have some veteran players. And just play solid. You know, not super flashy, but just solid.
Well, here is one guy who can be super flashy, going strong to the rim, Pipkins. And it's a double-figure Sheffield lead already. They've scored the last 9 points.
Yeah, and I think the turnovers are really coming to, you know, coming to be a real big problem here. When you looked at it last game, Giants turned it over 20 times against them, and not a good start from there.
Well, there's another one as Walsh tried the ambitious pass cross court, and it's just led to more points in transition. And this is the problem now for the Manchester Giants is it was December when they last won a game and you suddenly find yourself down double figures in the first quarter and there's a lot of bad memories come into the head on that.
Yeah, here we go again. You know, you can feel that, you can see that in the body language. And obviously it's a challenge. You know, there's really not much to play for as far as playoff seeding or going on, but still, you know, I like to say it all the time in the locker room. You never know when it's your last game. You know, you never know when you're going to get the opportunity to play a game like this. So Manchester got to find a way here at the end of this quarter to pick it up a little bit.
Here's Lee at the top. Front iron on the three. Lewis with the rebound. Walsh underneath. Oh, what a follow from William Lee to jam it home.
We've seen that from Lee before. Super athletic, came from the top of the circle and caught it with two and flushed it with two.
Well, maybe a big play like that might spark a bit of life into the Giants. Glasgow steps into the three. Walsh, where he loves to be, in the open court. Slowing it down, and the foul is called. He will go to the line for two.
That's where, like you said, he is so dangerous in that semi-transition. You have to probably give two guys to stop him. He usually has the ability to avoid. Here's Lee, takes the three from the top of the key, but now he doesn't give up on the play. He's coming all the way in, and two, right there.
Front end on the first free throw. He's shooting nearly 77% from the line today, this season, sorry. He makes the second.
Still in the zone. Whole quarter looks like in the zone. Very rare.
Well, Sheffield running it down to the buzzer.
Now more in the matchup there.
Nixon knocks down the triple up top. Is there a chance for a quick heave from half court? Yes, there is, but it will not go. And the Sheffield Sharks in control here at the end of the first quarter. They lead this one by 12. We'll have the second period right after this break. Welcome back to Manchester, where the Sharks are just relentlessly getting to the rim, Rob.
18 points in the paint already, 48 last time in the victory. Poor transition defense at times. You see here Green just right to the basket. I think that's where he hurt himself there. But yeah, they got to find a way to shut down that paint, or else, you know, they're on pace right now for, you know, 70 plus in the paint.
This is madness. Because they're only on pace for 100, so it's a big. Here's some more points in the paint. Is there? No, they couldn't quite find Pipkins. Lawton, that's going to be an offensive foul.
And I don't blame Lawton for that one. That was Lewis. The around the back pass kind of led him right into danger there.
Well, I think Lawton was running for an offensive rebound, assuming Lewis was going. He wasn't. As you say, there's not a lot he could do there.
Good job from Nixon to put his body on the line. Nixon hit that last three to end the quarter. Prentice Nixon. We've seen him do that many times, it feels like, this year. Run that clock down and hit that late three. Same play.
Stolen away, though, by Walsh. Running it back, getting his body into Pipkins to lay it in.
Good job for Pipkins not fouling there. We've seen Evan turn that into a three-point play. Maybe that's a little bit of the spark that they need here to start the second.
Nichols under pressure, rims out. Foul called on the rebound. Is it on Delpesh or Lee? It's the number 4 that's shown to the table, so William Lee called for it.
You won't see him argue too much, William Lee, but that face is probably the most you're going to see from him. You can tell he didn't like that one.
Glasgow kicks to the corner. Nixon knocks down his second 3 of the game.
And then get it into the paint against the zone and kick it back out. Glasgow, smart play. And Nixon looks like he's feeling pretty good today.
Oh, that's a tough off-balance shot, but good. Followed by Lawton, and he might get 3 out of it because he's fouled in the process.
Yeah, a wild shot from Harris. But Lawton, we've seen him play with a lot of energy this year. And he didn't give up on this one. You see this wild shot, but look at Lawton in there muscling over the guards. 3-point play chance.
Lawton converts the 3-point play.
Lewis extended a little bit in this zone. Sometimes that'll give up that middle.
Well, Glasgow trying to find that middle. Nixon resets. Glasgow into the key, tossing it up, back iron. Good work from Delpesh to get the second chance point.
Yeah, good positioning from him, and he went up strong to grab it. And that, you know, is another problem with that zone sometimes, is that offensive rebounding.
Walsh fakes the 3, takes the 3, makes the 3.
Looks at the bench and says, how about that, guys? Nice fake from him. Worked really hard on that outside shot, getting better and better each year.
Nixon in the near corner. Can't reply with 3 of his own. Walsh throws it long to Lee. Lee somehow comes down with it. Kicks out to Harris in the corner for 3.
Well, Walsh maybe a little too far, but William Lee, the athletic play, finds the ball and hits Harris and forces them into a timeout.
Well, it could easily have been a turnover. Instead, it's back-to-back 3s. And the Manchester Giants have cut this back down to 6, and Atiba Lyons has to call a timeout. Here's the first one. Just reset himself. Knocked it down, bench liking that. And this is just a great play from Lee. Didn't quite know where he was going with the pass, but then saw Harris.
Yeah, good job from Lee running as well. You get those big guys out running, cause some trouble, and that's what you know, Manchester, when they're dangerous, they're playing out in that open floor. And Walsh has done a good job since he's come into the game to get them into, you know, playing maybe a little bit faster. And he's coaching now over there, you see.
There's a lot of voices in the timeout going on, but at the other end of the floor, what do you think Katiba Lions will be looking to address with the lead down to 6?
Defensively here a little bit, you know, let's not get beat long. You know, remember, this is a team that can run, and, you know, make sure that we have the balance when we're in that zone offense that we can get back. And, you know, you got to take the shots that you're given. I think, you know, again, they've shooting the ball pretty well so far. But it's those easy baskets in transition, you know, against Manchester, you know, that you have to stop. Usually coaches, you know, will play a zone defense, come out of it, go back in it, come out of it. But like I said, this looks like 40 minutes of zone today.
Nichols at the free throw line, halfway down and out, tipped out by Cook. Nichols gets it back. Glasgow just inside the three-point line, knocks down the jumper.
Yeah, no hesitation there. You could see that the ball was in flight. He was getting his body ready to shoot that. Good play to find him from Nichols.
Lawton to the hook, not quite enough on that.
Haven't seen that left much from this year. Almost made it.
Substitution will bring Boursier back into the game.
Missing Jamel Anderson today. Manchester, a valuable player he has been for them.
Is Ratino off the mark for 3, rebound Lawton.
Wide open, you're giving that up. It's no matter if they make them or not.
Lewis, top of the key. Doesn't go. Rebound Glasgow. Glasgow will pull up off the mark. Nichols tips it down. Ratino throws it to Cook, who lays it in for 2.
Smart play from Ratino. He saw that Cook had that size advantage. Just throw it up there, and he'll finish.
Foul called. It's sideline ball to Manchester. This is the last of a triple header Sunday in the British Basketball League. I'd say the last. The other game hasn't yet finished. They've gone to an extra 5 minutes in Caledonia, tied at 98 apiece. A late Lucas Paliza 3, sending that one to overtime. Big game in the battle for second place. Boursier. Lawton rolling. Pass was a little behind him. He's able to recover. Lewis around the screen. Lewis takes it on his own, finishes through the contact. He'll go to the line for a bonus.
Spin. He put a little spin on that shot. He took a hard fall after. But again, we talked about how crafty he is in that paint. Watch him here. Whoop. A little bit of spin. Come back in and takes the hard fall to the ground. And that's the last thing that the Giants want to see. Very important player for them today, but certainly an acrobatic move.
Lewis with 8 points to his name so far, looking for number 9 from the free throw line.
Good news for Sharks. Green, who hobbled off, comes back into the game. And now he'll play the 5 spot. Now they have Bennett Cook, Adel Pesh, who play the 5, but sometimes they'll go with Green at the 5. Quicker, smaller lineup. We can hear the Baby Shark chant on every free throw. they were at our place, the traveling Sheffield fans, and certainly, you know, provided a really nice atmosphere.
Reach in from Lewis, I think, has been called there.
Green caught it at that high post. Quick move he made to take it to the basket. Catches it here, he's open there, rips through. And that probably be Lawton. That foul, Lewis was surprised at it, but it looked like Lawton made the contact.
Well, Lawton will sit down, replaced by Stampley. It was against Lawton, it was his third personal. Well, Green had a lot of time and space in the middle there. I don't think he realized how open he was at first.
Turned it into a pretty good finish, though, that floating one-handed shot.
Lewis strong to the basket for another 2. He's got 11.
A shimmy shake at the top left him in the dust, and then when he gets to that right hand to the hoop, he can score.
Well, Green got in the way there. Lewis will run it back, and he'll get the easiest 2 of the game.
And this is where you have to have discipline if you're Sheffield. You know, again, it's very rare you play this amount against the zone. You just have to stay disciplined.
Ramsey. Bertino for 3, knocks it down.
Probably had 3 opportunities to shoot there. Usually you don't get that in a man-to-man type offense, but they waited and waited, and they got a good one from Bertino.
Walsh. Round to Boursier. Boursier hard to the hole. Boursier off the glass and 1.
Physically strong move by Boursier. He's been struggling as of late. It's been a while since he's put one in the hoop, and you can see that on his face a little bit, like, about time. Maybe this can get me going.
Well, he hasn't scored in the last 4 games, but he got that one to go, and he'll get a chance for an extra free throw as well. But first of all, a timeout has been called, and we'll take a break as well. We'll be right back. Well, Mason Boursier, he's had a rough couple of weeks. He would have loved seeing that one go through the contact and 1.
Hard fall, too, from Bertino. He kind of hobbled off, and you see, he's as tough as they come, Bertino. You never see him out of the lineup, but he took a hard fall on that back on that play. It'd be interesting to see, you know, how long he stays on the bench. If he's on the bench, I think he went to it during the break.
He converts the 3-point play.
Manchester starting to heat up a little bit. 14 for 30, almost, you know, at 46%. Pretty solid numbers on the offensive end.
Ramsey gets to the elbow, knocks it down.
You can't get more of an open shot than that. 15 feet on 2 dribbles.
Lewis pushing hard. Stampley trying to come up with the rebound, but it's Pipkins who comes away with it. Eichelroth. Oh, Ramsey was there, but he couldn't hang on to the ball.
Wide open, and that's when you see the transition D pour there. You kind of could feel a bucket coming there, but Ramsey just like, oops, out of bounds.
Foul was called there.
Big period here in this game, Dan. And there you see Ratinho. I don't think the elbow's the big problem. I think it was the back when he landed. But big time here in the game. Manchester, you know, obviously a team low in confidence with the results that have been coming in for them for a long time. But if they can hang around here and get themselves in a pretty good position at the half, you know, maybe one push here in the second half to get them going.
Well, there's been a number of games where they've rallied in the fourth, but they were coming from a big deficit down. All it did was cut the margin of defeat. So it's a question of whether they can get to the point where a fourth quarter rally puts them on top in a game. Certainly seems a bit more life around the defense right now as they got it down to 6. Nichols in an awkward spot. Green trying to help his teammate out by cleaning it up. Stampley going after it. Boursier has it, but he throws it cross court. Lewis now, nobody can get the ball. Needs to get it over mid-court. Yeah, it is a bit like that. Welcome to the circus. It's still going. Well, finally, a bit of normal play as Ramsey drives hard to the rim.
And a circus-like finish.
Yeah.
Right on time, DeVerl. Wow, what a possession there. Back and forth, back and forth.
Lewis for 3, back iron. And Walsh with the foul.
And we talked about that circus type of play as it gets knocked around off hands, saving it in the air. And Ramsey, watch this one. Circus shot to finish. And he wanted to foul.
Well, he is at the free throw line now after that last foul. A chance to push it back to 10 points for the Sheffield Sharks, who led by as many as 13.
If I'm Manchester here, if this possession doesn't go well, I think about a timeout. You know, you don't want to go into that halftime, you know, with that same old feeling again.
Well, that doesn't go very well.
Here we go.
It's a turnover.
This is where.
And here comes the timeout right on cue. Poor pass, turned over, and suddenly all that good work that Manchester had done, they're down 12 again.
Yeah, good job by Sheffield, staying committed to the defensive end, coming up with the plays, and Ramsey's been right in the middle of it. Obviously, we showed that circus shot before, but the deflection there. And this is the play where it seemed to go on forever, where no one could handle the ball, and Ramsey, we've loved his energy here. We've loved it this year, and here, just finding a way to hang in the air and finish. I feel like it was a good no call there. And then Ramsey, with the deflection, and out in the open floor, finishes for 2, forces the timeout.
Oh, he's got 8 personal now. And Atiba Lions here will be just trying to get his team to finish this last 240 strongly. Let's go into the locker room with no less than 12, what we have now.
Take care of the ball, and they're the best in the league at taking care of the ball, right? Make sure you don't allow Manchester to get any of those open floor plays. Those are the ones that really ignited them earlier. So, you know, I'm sure this is the message that was going on in the week, and now you're just talking about it. Maybe run a different set here against the zone. Looks like he's drawing something up. It'll be interesting to see what they run. But, you know, I'm not sure, you know, they worked on the zone all week like this. But now, after, you know, almost 20 minutes of play, they'll be more and more comfortable with how to attack it.
Well, you still have Manchester to play, of course. You're going to have to go a bit deeper in that zone playbook than maybe you would have thought.
Sure. I mean, you know, you see that, and you know you have to be ready. Not many teams in this league zone. It's very rare you see a lot of zone, maybe a couple possessions here or there.
Sheffield, the last 6 points Here's Jones. Stampley.
Likes that left.
Oh, Nichols got the ball, but I think there was a foul on the body before that.
Tough one there on Nichols. Let's see it. I thought he played, maybe we can see it. I thought he played pretty good defense there, and he did too. See here, you know Stampley's going left. You know it. Maybe he got that arm there out, extended it a little bit. Pretty good call.
Stampley making the front end of the 2 free throws, trying to get it back to 10. Got them both.
Let's see what the Sharks do here, coming out of the timeout against that zone. Horn set.
Ramsey. Green throws it up high, too high. Delpech chases it to the corner, keeps it alive. Round to Eitel Rock for 3. Back iron, and it falls nicely to Walsh.
Play by Delpech. Not only they get it, but the pass for a wide open 3.
Oh, mismatch down low here. Ramsey needs some help. None comes, and Stampley, oh, he blows the layup. Second attempt is good.
Oh, give me another offensive rebound. I'll go get it. And Stampley that time finished it after blowing the easy layup, and Manchester hanging around.
Ooh, tough one there. Tipped out to Walsh.
Whoa.
Behind the back.
Hey!
Still going. Evan Walsh, not quite. Lee with the rebound. Poliza, Stampley underneath, lays it in. Minute to go here, 42-48. And I think a timeout is called. I was slightly distracted because Caledonia are winning now in that other game. Just check the score on that. Caledonia winning 115-107 in overtime. And that would be very, very significant for Caledonia, not only because they get a win, but if they win by more than 6, Poliza's at the free throw line, he stretched it to 116-107. If they win by more than 6, they win the head-to-head with Cheshire, which gives them a much better shot at finishing second.
Wow, huge finish up there. Cheshire looked like maybe they had it. And
Poliza made a 3 at the end to force it into overtime. And they've scored 18 points in overtime.
Good timeout here in our game with Coach Lyons again here. You know, 6-point game could go either way going into the half.
So here's at the league table as it stands. You can see Cheshire with 2 games in hand, but if Caledonia can win, that obviously pulls them a little closer if they move ahead on wins. And they also would take the head-to-head. And the head-to-head is what is used to separate teams if they finish level. So therefore, Caledonia would only need to be level with Cheshire to get the higher seeding. And it looks like they might just do that as well. We'll give you the final score once we have it on that. As Sheffield roll it in to save a little bit of clock. Kicked out to Eitel Rock. Eitel Rock driving into traffic, and he'll go to the free throw line.
Wow, now he had a wide open look from beyond the 3, but he thought, hey, that lane is wide open. Let me take it. It's been something they've been dealing with all game. And here you see the bump from Jones. Good call by the referee. Eitel Rock will go to the line for 2. Sheffield want to get these 2, stop, and get it up to 10 or so here.
Tiber Lions looking on. Can his team stretch this lead to double figures before halftime? Idle Rock makes both from the free throw line. Here's Jones.
Good D there, Sheffield, all over him.
Shot clock down to 5. Lee fires up the triple. Lee strings it.
William Lee, he knows he has that range. Not always off the dribble from out there, but nice little shake to free himself for the 3.
Ramsey, just a little quick step, and Lewis with his arms out shrugging. Here's Lee at the other end of the floor though. Bottom of the net on that one. Foul has sent Ramsey to the line.
Still another opportunity here for Manchester. Get this rebound, go up the other way, and they'll feel pretty good going into halftime.
The referee just stopping play. Is there a technical foul? I think there's a technical foul just been called.
Bad play there by Manchester, whoever that was, to get that at that point.
Well, it's Lewis, I think, who's been called for the technical foul. And he's gone and sat down as a result of it. Frustration for him, frustration for Manchester. Well, it's compounding, isn't it? You didn't think you got a foul, but how you react to it is key. Well, the other game is finished, by the way. Caledonia have won by exactly 6, which means the head-to-head is tied between Cheshire and Caledonia. Next in the tiebreak, points difference. At the minute, that favours Cheshire, but a long way to go. Here's Walsh stepping his way to the basket. Somehow gets it to Stampley, who lays it in on the buzzer. That will count. Stampley just beating the horn. Let's have another look at this one. Walsh in all sorts of trouble, somehow got it away, and Stampley beats the buzzer for the lay-in, and that will do it for the first half here in Manchester. Still in the balance, this one, Sheffield on top. We'll break it all down right after this break. Welcome back to our coverage of the British Basketball League. Rob Paternoster alongside me here. Rob, Manchester struggling in the early stages. Sheffield double-figure lead, but a bit of a fight back in that
Yeah,
second
no
quarter.
question. Give them credit. And I think it was really important to control the paint a little bit better. And, you know, from what I see, 30-28 now, Sheffield over Manchester in the paint. So Manchester did a good job of scoring in the paint as well.
Let's have a look at the other numbers from the first half here. And, well, Sheffield, because of those early points in the paint, shooting 59% from two. And the key thing is always about turnovers against Manchester. Keep them low, stop them getting in transition.
Yeah, Sheffield obviously come up against this zone, had to move the ball around a lot, done a good job from two. Not many threes, though, only 4 threes made against that zone. Be interesting to see if they up that in the second half. But Manchester, nice job on the glass as well.
Let's have a look at the highlights from the first half. And in the early stages, it was all about Sheffield Sharks getting to the basket, finding gaps within this Manchester zone defense.
Again, Manchester started out in that zone. That was a surprise. And here you see the defense from Sheffield. And now, you know, Manchester, again, getting in the paint. And Lewis was pretty crafty in there, right? With that right hand finishing around the basket.
Well, he certainly helped his team with some offense going in that quarter. He had 13 points in the first half, but it was at times it looked easy for Sheffield, and at other times they looked a bit discombobulated against.
Yeah, it's tricky, and I think that's what that zone will do to you. Is it'll give you some easy looks, and then you start questioning whether, you know, should I get in, pass another one or pass it again? And but you know, Green was really effective. We saw that move before we went around Roberton. What a signing he's been for them. And you know, Manchester, they go in at halftime. They got to say, look, we got to do a better job at transition, stopping them when they get out in the open floor, because the zone has been affected at times. And I think Walsh really picked up the game when he came in, hitting threes, going out in transition, doing a lot of stuff for the Giants.
Yeah, that was important for them, that spell where they hit a couple of threes and then Boissier's and one. But Sheffield, their offense have come from different places. We've seen Ramsey scoring, Idlerock, Green, Nixon, Delpesh, they've all contributed.
Yeah, like normal, you know, they're a team that isn't the highest scored team, and they usually don't have one guy high up in the 20s or anything, really balanced. But this was a big play at the end from Walsh. Found a way to get it to him.
Well, in a minute, we're going to take a look at when Manchester went to visit Hoopin and Luton. But first, let's get some action from the earlier game, Bristol against London. Phillip gets it back from Olesheni, feeds his big man for the lay-in. Nwaba steps back behind the three-point line and rattles it in.
Well, that's a tough move there. Pretty good D on him.
Well, these two teams at opposite ends of the standings when it comes to assists per game, and it's proving that way so far. John, oh, wiped out by Sharma. All 5 of their starters sitting down now, almost showing off really. Oh, there we go, what a shot.
Pasquale!
Yeah. That one's turned over. Oh, Yora stepping his way to the rim, but off the back iron from Ollison, but there's the captain to throw it back in for 2. Oh, just thrown straight to Phillip. Oh, behind the back pass. Oh, my, what a play from the London Lions. Sandy punches it home. Not a great inbound pass, but they somehow get it underneath to Thomas Edwards for 2. Johnson for 3. Johnson knocks down the 3. Pass is deflected. Bradley comes away with it. Looking for options. Takes it himself. Gets the foul. Basket is good. Green. Well, he's a little casual with the flip to Thomas Edwards. Stolen away. Nwaba pushing hard, and nobody in transition is more direct than he. Oh, that's thrown away. And that'll be an easy run back. Well, not quite, but Morgan is there to tip it home. It's knocked away by Sholowade. Smith is chasing him. Will he catch him? No, he won't. It's jammed in. Samuels backs out for 3 and knocks it down.
Samuels know they needed a bucket and didn't shy away from it to knock it down.
Johnson, suddenly the 3s are flying in.
Poor rotation that time from London.
Round it goes. Samuels in the opposite corner. He knocks it down again.
The Bristol native. I'll make shots today.
Nwaba turning the corner. Bradley in front of him. Bradley caught his arms, but Nwaba is too strong. There we go. It is now, and the London Lions move to 30 wins in the league campaign. They were pushed hard here, though, by an undermanned Bristol team.
Oh, get him out of here early. Get him out of here early.
Hooping and Luton is the UK's #1 jersey destination. We're also a creative platform for independent UK basketball brands, basically showcasing the talent and creativity we have in the UK. So we've got everything going from All-Stars all the way to FIBA jerseys. We've got kids jerseys involved in there of all teams, special editions, British basketball jerseys, couple of highlights going all the way back. So we've got some Brighton Bears and Dennis Rodman, the infamous Dennis Rodman stint. So these are some of the t-shirts which we designed with Josh Steele, a player. When we've got these guys which can do fire designs from there, then why not get them involved?
Shout out to the man.
So today we've got Nick, Evan and Legend coming from the Manchester Giants. Take a look around, we're going to get them to pick out some of their favourite jerseys, have some chats.
Now that's a piece of art right there. Look at this one, Bez. Magic.
What? This is tough.
Actually, I might cheat that. Yo, I'm in love with this shirt, bro. Shoot.
Oh, get him out of here early. Get him out of here early.
My favorite jersey was actually what Stan has, but he won it fair and square. We know and talk about it. But my runner-up is definitely this Blake Griffin Christmas edition Clippers jersey.
Well, this is my favorite jersey because it was Legend's favorite jersey. So, you know what I'm saying? The colorway on this is just tough, and so I definitely do like it.
Yeah, this is definitely my favorite in the Hooper and Lewis collection. You can see we have the Dallas, the Luka Doncic, the 75 edition. Not just because I wear number 77, my favorite color is actually green too, so the way it's got this like nice green trim, even though Dallas are normally blue. But definitely, this is definitely my favorite.
Basketball culture has been hidden. It's one of the big things I push is about the basketball culture, the things we share. We've got to shout loud what our culture is.
Oh, this is the OBBL jersey?
Yeah.
Who's that?
Like that's
Wolves.
Yeah. You've even got Birmingham Bullets in there.
Wow.
But that's Fletcher's last ever jersey.
Yo!
That's why I got his come here and give it to me on there. It's like, that's a little bit of history, that.
Yes, sir.
That's what it's called, man.
Yes, sir.
I'm not gonna lie, they are horrible. That jersey is horrible. Yo, this though, the original.
That's the one I was talking about.
Yeah, they're the ones from Madden.
I would say jerseys like they definitely paint a picture of a story of a franchise, bring that city to life.
Yeah, I know.
Culture plays a massive part, and it's about how that culture gets pushed the right way.
I think the culture is growing and the league's doing a good job of pushing it. It's just going to take time, but it's definitely growing.
Welcome back to our coverage of the British Basketball League. Let's have a look at the results so far, and the big one right there in the middle. Caledonia 116, Cheshire 110. That game went to overtime, and what that means is those two teams are tied on the head-to-head, 2 games each, and on points difference. So it'll come down to who has the best overall basket difference at the minute. That heavily favors Cheshire. So even though they've lost that game, they still will likely win the head-to-head if the teams are tied. London won earlier. So here's what it does for the league standings. You can see Caledonia and Cheshire fighting it out for that second spot, and still a chance for the Scottish side, but Cheshire maybe with a slight edge because of that head-to-head now. But it's all a bun fight behind them, and obviously, Rob, you are interested in which of those teams finishes second and third, because it's possible that if you finish 6th where you are right now, you might have to play them.
Ifs and buts, Dan, who knows, right? Still a long way to go, but phenomenal game up there today. Looking forward to catching up on that one when I get back home.
Of course, Rob could still finish 4th as well, such is the tightness in the middle of the table, and take all of that out of contention. But for Manchester, it's about trying to avoid finishing last, and that's not a great way to start the second half.
A great way for Sheffield to start the second half. Made that play tough with their defense. A tough pass. Lewis couldn't hang on to it.
Well, going back to that battle in the middle of the pack, you wouldn't be averse to a big second half from the Manchester Giants and handing Sheffield a defeat, of course.
And now Manchester in the man-to-man, it looks like. So zone first half, man second.
Well, that's kind of thrown Sheffield as well, because I think they were expecting the zone to stay.
Yeah.
And Manchester with a stop, and away comes Lewis.
Rotinho back out on the floor. He's as tough as they come, Rotinho. We were wondering if he'd make it back after that fall.
Well, he was struggling with what looked like a back injury, but I guess it's one of those, if it is back, get him out now, because if you sit him for another 5 minutes, it might stiffen up further and he won't be able to play at all. But he is a guy that doesn't miss games for the Sheffield Sharks, that's for sure. Here's Rock up top for 3.
Cook made that play, though, with the drive, and then kept his footing. Nice pass to Rock right on time. Sheffield switching those screens to deny Lewis.
Well, he gets the ball and the shot goes up. Lawton does well to pull down the rebound, and as he threw it out, he was fouled by Ramsey, I think it was.
Lawton's been good on the glass today, but that last play, they denied Lewis when he was coming off the staggered screen, but Lee did a good job of presenting himself for the ball and then fouled Lewis for a pretty good look. That's what you like about William Lee. Intelligent player on both ends of the floor.
Lewis, a little short on that one. Rock fires up the triple, front iron on that. Back down to Cook. He squares up. Green needs to shoot here. Well, it was all pretty passing, but they didn't have a shot at the end of it.
Yeah, they had some good opportunities, too. They were trying to get it into Cook because he had the mismatch, so it went back and forth to him. But by the time they went through all that, it was a shot clock violation.
Well, Tiba Lyons looking on. I'm sure he was talking about defense in the halftime. They gave up 33 points in that second quarter, the most they've given up in a period this season, as William Lee puts Manchester's first points on the board of the second half.
That 18-footer is William Lee's shot. When he gets that, knock that one down.
Rotinho drops it down to Cook. Oh my goodness, and that is right in the chest of Lawton, who takes the charge.
Well, I didn't think he had a chance to get back in time. Let's see, because he's there, and now he hops there. Is he inside?
Well, he doesn't have, because he's not the secondary defender and the player's not in the air, the no charge circle doesn't come into account here. So his feet are not important because he's not shooting puck. It's just he's run into his chest. Just to clear that one up for anybody who was wondering about the no charge circle.
We need you at practice for referee. I mean, please, what are you doing this week?
Is Lewis off the mark? I'm not as good with a whistle as I am watching it. That's the thing.
Who is?
Takes me a time to process.
You can tell Bennett Cook is still talking about that foul call. He didn't like it.
Well, he didn't like it, but he's heading to the bench as a result of it, I think. Delpesh is checking in, and to be fair, Delpesh was pretty active in that first half.
Manchester going to have to make these free throws here. They want to hang around in this game and give themselves a chance to win late.
Well, that is not the way to do it.
Still in the zone now, back into it.
It's funny because normally you'd see a coach would just throw a zone out just to throw them off for a moment or two, but Manchester seemed to be throwing the man defense in just to mix it up a little. Lewis back to Lee, putting it on the floor. Nice finish.
Wow, William Lee with the floater in the lane. Nice job. You close him down, make sure he doesn't take this jumper. But now he says, that's okay, 1 foot float game.
Rotino back to Ramsey. Up top is Idle Rock. Bullying his way in, will that count? Yes, it will. Basket is good. And Idle Rock looks to have hurt himself in the process, but he's got 2 and a shot coming.
I was going to say, Idle Rock looks like the guy that is willing to take the 3 out in the perimeter. Sheffield don't really have that many guys that are aggressively looking for that shot, but that time he went hunting for the paint. With that big body of his, when he gets in there, he usually throws out the punishment to the opponent. Good finish.
Walsh is going to return for Manchester with Lawton sitting down. Can't convert the 3-point play. Lee plucks it off the rim. Boursier into the key, back out to Lee, sets his feet for the triple and hits the bottom of the net once again.
Nice play from Boursier. He does a good job at times of getting in that paint, drawing the defense, and kicking it out to a hot William Lee.
Delpesh underneath, can't convert, gets his own rebound. Pipkins drops it off to Green, and Walsh with a big slap down is called for the foul.
Nice pass there from Pipkins. He could have easily shot that ball, but unselfish to find Green, who was hanging around the paint. Talked to Manchester before the game. They would have taken this right here, hanging around at home, still in with a shot.
Green into double figures, 10 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists for Malik Green. Boursier with the spin, drops it off to Walsh, poked away by Idle Rock.
I'd like to see Boursier go up and finish that one. He had a direct line to the hoop. A little too unselfish with the pass there.
Well, back to Walsh. Walsh down the lane, slowing it down off the glass, just doesn't quite get the roll. He's on the floor, so it's 5-on-4 here. Oh, not quite from Pipkins. And Lewis out running, and foul is called.
That was a tough catch for Lewis on that pass ahead. Good job coming down with it. You can see Boussier always head up, and yeah, nice job by Lewis to come up with that. Definitely foul on Idle Rock.
I was just watching the referees there because it was the last man back, and you always worry about the unsportsmanlike, but the right side of the line on that one. Lewis. Back to Lee for another triple, not this time.
Good box out from Green. Stampley was coming hard for that offensive rebound.
Nixon was able to come away with it, and a great pass to Green, who gets the points.
Like Green, he just keeps working, keeps running. Good cut and good catch after a really nice pass.
Boussier. That will count, and the blocking foul is called, so that'll be a bonus free throw coming.
Well, Boussier had an easier shot last time. That time he had all the traffic around him, but had one thing in mind, and that was finishing, and he did.
It's a 6-point game, timeout call. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Manchester. Jamel Anderson on the bench, not available today, rolled his ankle last week, and only 2 weeks left of the regular season. Wonder whether we'll see him again in this campaign.
Very rare to see him sitting out. Sat out more this year than I can remember. Always extremely durable player.
Another one, that's the third one on that Manchester team that you've coached. Probably hit more than the other two combined. You know him really well, Jamel.
No doubt. Great guy to have on your team. Hard worker, intelligent.
Oh, thrown away there, and Lewis will run it back. Lewis is blocked by Green. What a chase back.
Give me that.
And there are bodies all over the place. Manchester looking to come back, Sheffield looking to come back the other way. Lee with the rebound.
Good rebound there from Lee. They were in a little trouble on defense there, but great block from Green.
Boussier with the step away, in and out. Another body on the floor. Walsh is picking himself back up. Sheffield looking to try and run, take advantage of the numbers here. Pipkins underneath lays it in.
And that's what he can do. You know, anytime in the open floor, number 5 has it. We're expecting something spectacular. Nice reverse layup for 2. And that's a big swing there. You know, Manchester going up the other way before that block to cut it to 4. Now back up to 8.
Whoa, shot clock getting low here. Lee, does he see it? Needs to get it away. Does get it away. Hits the iron, so the ball is live, and Boursier is able to recycle. Lewis turned down probably an easy shot for a hard one there. Stampley underneath gets called for the travel.
You were right about Lewis. He did have a clean look and just sidestepped it a little bit into a tougher one. Give Stampley credit, though, working hard to try to get the ball. Unfortunate.
Speaking of working hard, look at Green chasing it.
Boom! Yes, head above the rim there. He could have gave up on that play at half court. He didn't. Deserves that break on the bench.
Oh, good numbers across the board for Malik Green. He's been such a boost for this Sheffield team since he joined them at the end of January. Got those last couple of games in the trophy, and then, well, no coincidence, they've started winning in recent weeks. Once they found their rhythm, here's Pipkins at the top for three.
And that's what Nichols can do, you know, find that area in the paint. He's tough in there, but he kicked it back out wide open for Pipkins. And anytime they've gotten into that paint, they've gotten a good look either in there or back outside.
Walsh, that's going to be an offensive there for Walsh as he brought the ball up. Referee says he caught him with the elbow.
And Nixon played good defense by getting his face in there. And not too many people want to get hit in the face like that. Nixon didn't seem to mind. But Walsh is like, what did I do? I just brought the ball over my head. Still in the zone.
Pipkins for three. Got it. And Sheffield suddenly have themselves the biggest lead of the ball game at 14 points. And Manchester having to call a timeout with 12 to play here.
Well, here you see here, again, into the paint from Glasgow. Back out to Pipkins. He just hit one. Now he feels confident. See again, in the paint, back out. And we talked about who's a willing three-point shooter. Well, after he made that first one, Pipkins, when he caught that, there was no hesitation. Good ball movement from the Sharks. Now they're putting themselves in position here with some defensive play to shut this game down.
Well, that was the thing I was saying. The 33 points they gave up in the second quarter, the most they've given up this season in a quarter. They've only given up 9 here in 8 minutes of play. These are the last 3 that Sheffield have to play. Caledonia at home. Sheffield, very, very good home record. Cheshire, so Sheffield have a big say in who's going to finish second and third in the league, and then they finish up with Plymouth at home on the final weekend of the season. The Manchester Giants, they also have 3 fixtures remaining, and they are Bristol away, Leicester away, and then Newcastle at home. So they could have a say in yours and Newcastle's battle for 4th, 5th, and 6th there.
Still a lot to play for all around the league. And, you know, if you're Manchester, got to keep it going. Needed that timeout here. You know, they want to come back into it before that third quarter ends. Want to try to get that deficit below double figures. So big couple possessions here for Manchester, you know, to still have a chance in this game.
Well, every time they've been put under pressure by the scoreboard, they've responded so far, Manchester. 8 in a row for Sheffield. They need to end that here. Here's Harris. What a dribble, gets the shot away. Beats the buzzer. Not the best offense coming out of a timeout.
A good defense, though, by Sheffield. Gave him nothing.
Lewis again with his arms out saying hoo-hoo, and I think it's going to be 93 that's shown to the table. If it is, it's his 4th.
Let's watch it again here. He has a point there. You see a ton of contact.
Nixon, top of the key, nice one.
Under the screen, too deep under the screen, and if there's a guy that'll shoot behind screens on the Sharks, it's Nixon. And when you look at that Shark team, they're close to being one of the deeper teams in the league with all these guys. And at the end of the season, that's important. You know, to be able to rotate guys and still get that effort on the defensive end. Hey, we've been playing basketball for, a long time here. Started in September, it's late in the season, and the teams that are in better condition, have more depth, can continue to play that defense that they play.
Well, they've certainly turned it up here in the third quarter. Pipkins from behind the arc again, another three, and Sheffield starting to pull away with this one.
Another in the paint, back out to Pipkins, getting more and more comfortable. And Pipkins has really shot the ball well here in this third quarter.
8 for 18, Sheffield from behind the arc. Here's Lewis driving into the key, able to get 2 back.
He wanted to foul as well. Nice floater from Lewis.
Well, shot clock is off, so Sheffield can run it down to the third quarter buzzer. Already won this quarter comfortably. Can they add to the tally?
We've seen Nixon pull up on these plays.
Here he is pulling up for 3, doesn't go. Lee with the rebound. There's time here for Jones from 3-point range. Not too far away. He doesn't hit too many threes, Callum Jones. He has hit one like that, though, in his British Basketball League career. Well, Sheffield are on top. Can they see it home in the fourth quarter? Find out right after this break. Well, they had an enjoyable trip home last Monday from this building, and they're 10 minutes away from doing it once again here, up 15. Those Sharks fans will be pretty happy right now. Nixon for 3. Perfect start to the fourth quarter for Sheffield.
Great rotation on that shot from Nixon, too. You could tell when it left his hands it looked good. And look back at that play from Green, that block that he made full court. And could have cut it to 4, I believe. And ever since then, the Sharks have been off and running.
Lewis thought about one from miles out. He is the sort of guy that would shoot it from there. Takes the mid-range. Jones with the rebound. Cross court to Lee. His 3 off the mark. Stampley gets the roll.
Energy from Stampley. We've seen that this year from him. Not giving up on the play. Good offensive rebound. Now, if you're the Sharks, it's about taking care of the ball, You know, making sure you don't give them any thought of getting back in this game. It's an easy in transition. Good balance on offense. Still in the zone.
Down to Delpesh. Spinning into trouble. Did he go up and down? Yes, he did. Traveling violation called on Marcus Delpesh.
Good job from Jones there, helping down. Delpesh maybe with a little strength advantage on the lead, but Jones right in there. Heads up play.
He got excited at the end of the quarter when Callum heaved from inside his own half. Thought we were going to see a Callum Jones 3. You know how many he's made in his entire British Basketball League career?
Tell me.
6. 6 made threes in his whole career. Bearing in mind his sister and his brother have both made 7 in a game.
Yeah.
In a game, never mind a career. Very different. I don't know about Jeff Jones. Jeff, I'm trying to think whether the three-point line, whether Jeff was still playing when the three-point line came out, that's for sure. But yeah, Callum, the one in the Jones family that you kind of leave at the three-point line. Made his career from the mid-range.
And his athleticism from the guard position, too. Pretty athletic player in his day from that position.
Giants all-time leading scorer is Nichols along the baseline. Zips around to Pipkins. Back iron on the 3. Nichols with the offensive rebound. Pipkins. Again, it's late shot clock. Heaved up. Not quite. Another offensive rebound.
Nichols all over the glass.
Manchester just can't get the ball back here. Finally, Lee steals it away. Harris in the open court finds a gap between 2 shot defenders.
That was awkward the way that went up, but somehow got it to go, and that's what you don't want if you're Sharks. Anything in the open floor for this Giants team.
Nichols knocks down the 3.
And any time you give a guy that can shoot the ball even a little bit, that much time, you know, at the top of the key, they're going to knock it down. Nichols is definitely a guy that can make that if he's open.
First points of the game for Kipper Nichols. That's everybody bar Nate Montgomery, who's not come on yet for Sheffield in the scorebook. Shot clock down to 4. Lewis finds up the 3, in and out. Nice kick out to Pipkins, who can't convert. It's not a great pass towards Harris. Too much loop on that. Glasgow is going to fire up the triple.
Sharks 2 open right now.
Yeah, Manchester's attention to detail on defense waning here in the 4th quarter as Harris hits the 3. And Atiba Lyons did not like that. He scored a timeout, just whether it got a little bit too loose, a bit too easy.
Yeah, maybe transition D not as good, but you can't blame them for the shots they're taking. They're taking wide open shots, not going down. And you know, Harris has scored a 2 in transition and now doesn't hesitate to knock down the 3. Good timeout from Coach Lyons. But don't give them any belief whatsoever. It's still, you know, pretty hefty lead here. So come out of this timeout, get them balanced, get a good look, and close this one out.
Well, we mentioned Sheffield's final few fixtures. Starting next Friday, it's our Sky Sports game. Big game for both teams. Caledonia in town, 7:45 tip-off on air from 7:30. And then on Sunday, again, another huge game. The Sharks at home against Cheshire Phoenix, 3 p.m. tip-off on Sunday, and then Bristol Flyers against Manchester Giants. That's an 8 o'clock tip down at the Wise on Saturday night. Well, Manchester at times have looked like they were making a charge in this game, and other times they've given Sheffield whatever they want. Nichols. Oh, he just ran away from him.
Wide open is an understatement for Nichols. He didn't know what to do. He said, hey, why not shoot? He is really tough when he gets it in that area anyways, even if you're covering him.
Jones moves it on. Stampley for three. Doesn't get the friendly bounce, and well, the Sheffield players were boxing each other out there for that rebound.
That's what you want out of the timeout, the bucket, the stop. And now, you know, you're back feeling a little more comfortable.
Glasgow, that's his favorite shot, top of the key.
Top of the key pull-up. You know if he gets that, he's going to knock it down.
Stampley, under pressure, leaves it short. And it's just starting to feel like Manchester have just lost their rhythm, really. They seem to have, I don't know, it feels like this is every other week, doesn't it?
Well, you know, again, another team that's, they're struggling, obviously, you know, used to losing, but played Friday all the way down in Plymouth, which is a long, long trip for them. So you kind of can see them now running out of gas. Remember, down bodies with Jamel down. You know, pretty good effort, pretty good fight, you know, for the first 2.5 quarters, and then that third quarter got away from them a bit.
Well, it's a 20-point lead for Sheffield. We'll have the last 5 minutes right after this break. Welcome back to Manchester, where Team Lions and his squad are eyeing up another victory in their bid to try and secure themselves a top 4 spot, still within reach for them. Of course, they play so well at home this season, 11-4 at home. They're only 5-12 away, so if they can get to the top 4, that would give them the opportunity of a decisive game in the playoffs, being in their building. Nichols off the mark. So when we talk about home advantage in the playoffs, it's thrown away. Eichel Rock will run it back. It's best of 3 series this year. It's been a long time since we've had best of 3 series in the British Basketball League. And the final game, the 3rd game, would be at the venue of the higher seed. So if you get into the top 4, then you would get that decisive game against the 5th seed in the quarterfinals in your own building. Here's Lee. Harris for 3 off the mark.
Another rebound for Green. They have him for 9 on the day. And what I like about Green's rebounding, they're out of area. He goes and gets it.
Just trying to think, Rob, when you played in the league, was it Central Venue playoff games or was it?
Central Venue.
Central Venue.
Central Venue playoff games. Yep, one game, everybody at the same venue. Coventry Skydome.
Skydome, yeah. Good hands from Ramsey to rip it away.
And it was a lot earlier too in the year. I think it was in April.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny. I always remember going to, when I was a kid, going to Wembley to watch the playoff final. It was always on the same weekend as the Grand National, which of course is next weekend. So, but over the years, the playoffs have slipped a bit later and a bit later, and the regular season taking a little longer. Nate Montgomery going to get his chance to make it everybody on the Sheffield roster on the scoreboard. He's got 3 minutes to do that.
You know, this season, 4 games in the regular season against each team. And obviously, some in trophy competition as well. So when you head into the playoffs, I think everyone will know the scouting report on each team, right? You played them so many times that sets up to be very entertaining. Very entertaining, series coming up. And we still have really no idea who's going to play who yet. Still wide open as we head into the final weeks of the season.
Oh, there are some intriguing matchups out there, possibilities, but as you say, it's only London that we know where they're going to finish. We don't know who they're going to play. It could be Surrey, could be Bristol.
I think the other thing about, being in the top 3 there, obviously you don't play London till the final, you know that. And, the higher up you are, the less likely you get them, right?
Yeah.
So, I think when people look at playing London, I think they'd much prefer to play a one-off game. You wouldn't want to be in that best-of-3 series with such a dominant team. So the higher up, the opportunity is to maybe not get them till the final.
Here's Walsh. Inside to Robertson. Off the mark. Manchester not going to be in the playoffs. Obviously, Robertson's come up hobbling there. He has only just come back from injury. But they are trying to avoid bottom spot. Unfortunately for them, their defeat to Plymouth the other day meant they lost the head-to-head with Plymouth, so they're going to have to win one more game than the Patriots to finish above them. And at the minute, bearing in mind they haven't won since December, winning one game is going to be a challenge. Robertson off the mark with the hook.
Talk about Plymouth, they played some much better basketball here. Coach James has got, especially at home, that team has been a tough out down there. We know that, and a lot of teams have gone down there and seen that they, so I really feel like they've improved as the season has gone on.
They certainly have, as you say, picked up. They obviously beat you guys at home. Maybe should have beat you twice. You guys did a great job to win that in double overtime. Beat Manchester last week.
Beat Caledonia down
there. Beat London, of course, early in the season at home. Here's Walsh wide open for 3. Hey! Oh, he might have got the friendliest bounce of them all there, but it doesn't quite drop.
Nate's got to be aggressive here.
Yeah,
come on, Nate.
Get them shots up.
Idle Rock is.
Well, last 80 seconds, just a possession, and in the end, Sheffield have put 96 points on the board, maybe more than that, and have looked pretty comfortable, haven't they, in the second half? There was really not a lot that... It was a turning of the switch defensively.
Well, I thought the block from Green really turned it around, right? I mean, they're going up the court, a chance to cut into that deficit, and that block, ever since then, the Sharks have been really rolling and did a good job of hitting the threes in the second half. First half, really not that many. I think it was only 4 maybe at the half, but they had a little run here where the 3 really opened up the game for them.
Yeah, they did only make 4, but they they were still at a good percentage, and they've carried that percentage on in the second half, but with a bit more volume. Hit 7 in the second half, Sheffield, and they're not a team that relies much on the three-point shot. So if they get 11 threes with everything else they do, they're in a good spot.
Yeah, no question. And I think, defensively, like you said, they turned it up and they didn't give up. There you go, Nate.
There we go. Everybody on the score sheet for the Sheffield Sharks, and the bench loving that. The Sharks fans on their feet, happy to see that too. And that will do it. Sheffield just needs to get the ball over half court here. Do they go for the 100?
No.
You dribble it out.
Dribble it out.
Nate.
Come on, Nate.
Well, Lee's going to pressure Nichols for no discernible reason.
Interesting decision. Usually you let that run out.
Well, they're not over the limit, so it's not free throws.
How about a smile, Atiba? Give us a nice smile. Come on now.
You're winning by 30
Yeah, the weekend's over. Nice little smile for you. Come on.
A great second half.
Maybe. There it comes. Come on. No.
Job well done for Atiba Lions and the Sheffield Sharks. They've been the Manchester Giants 99 points to 68. They gave up 33 in the second. They gave up just 21 points in the whole of the second half. A much better defensive job after the break.
Yeah, definitely, and that's what happens at halftime there. You tighten some things up, and I think Manchester wore down a bit. Don't underestimate the fact that Friday they played.
But a lot of good performances from his team. Where have you gone for the player of the game?
Well, I went with Malik Green, and not the highest number of points that he scored, but, 9 rebounds, 11 points, 5 assists. And I just thought that he was a presence in that middle of the paint on both ends of the floor. And that block, I thought that block really energized them in the third quarter. Let's take a look at some highlights. And he's so versatile as a big. Here you see him passing the basketball. Then he gets into the post, a bigger Robertson underneath the arm with the left for 2. So the versatility on display, dribble drive to the hoop. And here's the block here. Boom, off the glass, never gave up on the play. And then cutting to the hoop and finishing. And yeah, they have been a much better team since he's arrived.
And they're a team that's hit the form at the right time of the year. This is the time you want to be winning. This is now 5 out of the last 6 for the Sharks.
Yeah, no question. And I think they have a real good team spirit there. And they look like a really unselfish team. And that Shark group that travels with them, they were at our place. They really bring up the atmosphere of the game. And that guy has gotten a lot of airtime today.
And well, he should with a outfit like that. Let's have a look at the numbers from this ball game. And, well, we talked about Sheffield and their three-point shooting. They ended up with 12 made three-pointers. And, well, it's a simple game, isn't it? You put the ball in the basket more times than the opponent, you win the game.
And Manchester really struggled from beyond the arc at 5 for 23. But Sheffield took care of the ball, too. 13 turnovers, a little more than normal, I think, but didn't give them many opportunities in transition to score.
Well, they certainly very efficient Sheffield Sharks from the floor. Let's have a look forward now at the fixtures coming up. It's a busy week in the British Basketball League. Starts on Wednesday night. Plymouth against Cheshire, Newcastle and Bristol. Both those teams need a win on Thursday. 2 games on Friday. London going down to Plymouth. Caledonia and Sheffield is our Sky Sports game. 7:45 tip-off for that one. Double-header for Newcastle. They're going to Surrey on Saturday. Manchester at Bristol, who are also playing twice this week, 8 p.m. and then rounding it off on Sunday night. Sheffield against Cheshire and Caledonia against Plymouth for our final game of the weekend. Kipper, Nichols and co in good form and enjoying themselves, no doubt. And that's the most important thing at this time of year, to be able to be playing as well as Sheffield are and keep those wins coming and getting themselves ready for the playoffs. For Rob Paternoster, I'm Daniel Routledge. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you again soon. Goodbye.